Let's welcome in our co-hosts on the day, the Admiral Bill Stubblefield. Feels odd without music, doesn't it, Bill?
I was going to say, Rob, and your timing's off. Normally you mute when the guest, the co-host is speaking, not when you're speaking.
We're good on the mute button, though, but I did mute the actual intro music at the wrong time. Also, the proprietor of this establishment, Delegate Michael Hornby. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rob.
Great.
We went through all the other mics in the county, and everybody said no, so you picked me.
It was kind of funny yesterday because we ran through every mic that we knew, I think, at one point, because Mike Carl and Mike Height were out. We replaced one of those with a Mike Allers, the other one with Jason Barrett, who is right here.
And so you know, my first name is Michael.
Is it really?
It is really.
That just fits perfectly with that's. I remember that now. Yeah, Michael Jason Barrett, and then of course Michael Hornby. So we could have done a show with literally all mics at one point as we ran through.
Was it
you
really
guys.
that you were running out of mics, or that you were running out of people that would come do this for free?
That's very, very true.
Talk to Mr. Hornby about
might
that.
be what it
The
actually
opportunity
is.
to come here should be a paid opportunity. Maybe we should start charging the co-hosts to come and
Like the Super Bowl was going to do with halftime guests.
maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Maybe 10% of this Tesla stock, for instance.
It's
if
not,
they own it.
it's not worth very much now. Day before yesterday, it would have been quite a deal for you, Mike. That doesn't mean anything.
It's coming back down to where I sold it, Bill. Pretty soon we're going to be back to even. That's what I'm thinking. So our guest in this segment is Seth DiStefano, because I do have a requirement for at least one Italian for every show. Seth is the Policy Outreach Coordinator for the West Virginia Center on Budget and Policy. Good morning, Seth, and you're in studio today.
I am. It's good to be in Berkeley County. So it's good to be here and good to see y'all.
What brings you to the Eastern Panhandle today?
So I like to try and get out here when I can. It's important to get out of Charleston, both to talk to real people and just for your general sanity, I think.
Just a second. For the first time, Jason, you're qualified as a real person.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I can
Yeah,
Seth DiStefano, the
Yeah,
real people in the Eastern Panhandle.
But also, I'm going to meet here in about an hour or so. There's a collective of kind of direct service providers and family resource network types, folks that support community efforts, and they meet quarterly. And they asked me to stop by. I did it a couple years ago. I'm more than happy to do it now. So,
Great to have you.
Yeah.
I know there are a few things that you wanted to address this morning, one of which is how the budget passed by the House, being debated by the Senate, will affect the state of West Virginia.
Yeah. So, I've been on the show before to talk about my general grievances with the House reconciliation package. And for those listeners out there, just a quick refresher: reconciliation is a mechanism by which Congress can pass bills with simple majorities in both chambers. The only rule is that what is passed has to impact the budget in some way. So it either has to take money away or add revenue to, right? Those are the rules. It can't be filibustered provided it meets those rules. And the package passed by a one-vote majority, very narrow, 215 to 14, does some things that I think are bad. I will just say a lot of things I think are bad, one of which is really, in kind of a sneaky, I think, kind of underhanded way, really passes the buck to the state legislature and the governor to pick up costs for the first time ever that have always been covered by the federal government, specifically through Medicaid and SNAP. SNAP being the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as Federal Food Assistance. The benefits of SNAP, what you actually use to buy food, have always been 100% federally subsidized. Medicaid, West Virginia enjoys one of the higher federal matches for Medicaid. From the traditional Medicaid population, it's just over 3 to 1. We put in $1, the feds give us 3. For the expansion population, which provides health care for about 165,000 people in West Virginia, for every $1 we put in, the feds cough up 9. So there is a lot of discussion on Capitol Hill about kind of framing this in well, states got to have skin in the game. And what I see is a lot of bluster from national leaders talking about cuts and talking about this and talking about that. And when it comes time to push the button, it's no, we'll let Jason and Mike do the dirty work. We'll let them be the bad guy. And so I think it's very alarming, to be honest with you. And we are hoping, I think that there is some heartburn in the United States Senate. And our hope is that our delegation, Shelley Moore Capito is the number 4 Senate Republican. She's paid her dues.